plans already set for the closure of the 3rd Mainland Bridge at midnight today, 24th July 2020. This high-powered delegation from the federal and state government is out to inspect some of the plans already put in place in terms of road diversions. The traffic management personnel, as well as some of the alternative routes, were also inspected. And earlier, they were at a stakeholders conference where a meeting held, and some of these issues were highlighted. As the busiest bridge in Lagos shuts down for necessary repairs, motorists have been urged not to entertain any worries, as traffic disruption will only affect about 25% of regular traffic plying the bridge.
The 3rd Mainland Bridge will be available for traffic at the peak period, both in the morning and in the evening. So the few vehicles that will be going off-peak will now have to make use of all the alternatives that have been given out to the public.
We understand that there are more people in Lagos, and so you have the Carter Bridge option, you have the Eco Bridge option, you have the Costain option, and then to add to that, you have the water transport option, which we're making available.
This is one of the jetties just newly placed here for ease of traffic.
While traffic managers have mapped out their plans, the State Police Command says officers will be deployed to ensure 24 hours surveillance to prevent any crime.
Our men are out. We have given them motorcycles. The Commissioner of Police has reiterated and directed that the DPOs, their men, must be out 24/7.
We're going to run 2 shifts, and of course, most of these things will be a 24-hour thing, because even at night, you still need to be sure that people are guided properly.
And it is at this junction of Adekule that motorists who have been diverted from Adeniji would now be able to interchange and continue on their journey towards Oworoshoki, while those who would have been diverted from the Adekule end of Yaba would also be able to continue on their journey via the access ramp to Oworoshoki throughout the period of the partial closure. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, Nta News.
Thank you so much, Dotun. Security exercise by the Nigerian Navy remain a constant in order to enhance operations towards addressing crimes on the country's maritime environment. To this end, the strategic directive of the Chief of Naval Staff to develop well-trained personnel is among reasons for ongoing Operation Calm Waters 2, declared open by the Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Oladele Daji in Lagos.
I'm privileged as Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command to flag off Operation Okun Alafia 2 for the benefit of enhanced maritime security in Nigeria.
The exercise is to consolidate on the Navy's core mandates. Adela Komiake reports that 10 ships and units of the Nigerian Navy are participating. That was the commencement of the Nigerian Navy exercise Calm Waters 2. Let's now rejoin Engineer Akin Akintola, who is the branch chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ikeja branch. Engineer Akintola, if you are there.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you so much for rejoining us. So we're speaking on the causes of constant building collapse in Lagos. What can you say are the causes of this constant building collapse in Lagos?
Yeah, thank you very much. The first problem we have is on the part of the government in terms of approving buildings, buildings approved by Lagos. I believe there is need for urgent part of government to take the rightful position. I think part of the problem is that the right people are not the ones involved. And this is what is making every big canary go into building. How many of our buildings have the necessary professionals doing this job, building the houses, and using the right materials? And if we get back to talking about the materials, what type of materials are we using in building? some of us, we go on the roadside and we scrape sand to use as our building material, which negates the principle of building. And also, how many professionals are involved in building of our structures? Somebody wants to build a 4-story building and involves just anybody, that contractor, because he was able to build in one village and now bring him back to Lagos to build at the same place without considering the terrain of which they are building. I think these are part of the problem that is causing all this collapse. And these professional developers, I think is also another problem. With little or no experience, people will just go on to buildings. A building that is meant to be a 2-story will now be taken to 4-story. But unfortunately, all these are people who are in government, who are supposed to be the regulatory body. We see them, and they will do as if they don't. And at the end of the day, when it collapses, all of us will rush to the scene, and that will be the end. The first question I kept asking, and I will continue to ask, who are the culprits that have been brought to book? Nobody, up to date. The one that happened in Lekki some time ago, at the Lekki Gardens, nothing has been done up to today. Synagogue is there. They will tell you it's in court, so you can't say anything about it. But how many people have been brought to justice? Until we start doing the right thing, I think we will continue to have it. But I want to implore the government to do this. Please, every house above a story, let them do integrity test.
Okay, Engineer Akintola,
integrity test.
Sorry, let me butt in here. Yes, you've pointed out that government have lots to do, but I want to say to you again here that most developers have a lot of faults. When government have given standards that these standards should be followed, but we see that many times they cut these standards and just go and build houses without following to standards. Are you still going to say it's government or now developers themselves?
Apart from developers, who are those professionals that are involved? You approve a building to be built, but what is the follow-up from government? I think there are steps that have been taken now that at every stage of building, government will come in, check your logbook before they give you approval for doing that. Maybe that one will prevent future occurrence. But the ones that are already 40, I think we still have that problem. We still experience some collapse, the ones that are already in existence. But I just want government to be proactive. Anyone that they have marked for demolition, they should not hesitate to demolish it. No matter whoever is involved. Any house that have been marked for demolition, let them demolish them to save lives and properties. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. You just mentioned my final question that most houses, when you go around Lagos, most houses are marked for demolitions, but you still find out that occupants still remain in those houses. Who should be blamed for this?
Why should somebody break the chain of government? If government has put a chain on a house and it's broken, how many people have done that and they've been put to book? They allow them to go scot-free. So who is to be blamed? Government also. If I chain the house, I put a poster on it, do not open, and that seal is caught, that person is culpable. So the owner of the house and the occupant should be prosecuted. Until we start doing justice, I think all these things will continue. Nobody should be spared. If the man is a politician, deal with him rightly. The law is there. But unfortunately is that there are some who will spare because they are our people. We should stop all this and allow justice to reign. Until justice is reigning, I think we continue to have all these problems. The seal is there, nobody should break it.
Thank you so much, Engineer Akintola. That's a good place to call it tonight. I've been speaking with Engineer Akintola, the branch chairman of Society of Engineers, Ikeja branch. And now let's move on. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has sentenced 2 accused persons involved in the production of substandard engine oil in Lagos. Justice Oluremi Oguntoyibo, who sentenced Johnson Uche and Kingsley Meteke to 2 years imprisonment, said it would serve as deterrent to others.
At the commencement of the trial, Counsel to the Standards Organization of Nigeria provided a video player and television set to enable the presiding judge watch video clips of the first and third accused persons, Johnson Uche and Kingsley Meteke, were caught producing the fake engine oil. They both pleaded guilty. Before delivering her judgment, Justice Oluwemi Oguntoyibo asked counsel to the first and third accused persons to address the court. Counsel
requisite standard. Otherwise, the faith that before these individuals will also before those who are indulging in counterfeiting and substandard items.
They were convicted based on their plea and not on the substance of the case of the prosecution. Confident that my clients, being the second and fourth defendants, will be discharged and acquitted at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, the trial for the second and fourth accused persons who pleaded not guilty to their offences will commence when the court resumes from its vacation. In Lagos, Joyken Abakbuya, Nta2 News.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has resolved to do everything within its power towards mitigating political crisis in the Republic of Mali. To this end, an extraordinary meeting of heads of states and governments of the sub-regional organization is to be held on Monday next week to further deliberate on issues raised at Bamako. Mediation talks with a view to finding lasting solutions. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that President Muhammadu Buhari, who participated in the peace talk, is back in Abuja.
The coronavirus pandemic notwithstanding, President Muhammadu Buhari and 4 other West African leaders converged on Bamako, the Republic of Mali, on a crucial mission critical to peace, security, sustainable democracy and development in the West African nation. Their engagement was in furtherance of the ECOWAS mediation mission led by Dr. Goodluck Jonathan to broker peace and compromise amongst the political actors. Therefore, apart from listening to a formal briefing by the former President Goodluck Jonathan on the ECOWAS mediation efforts, President Muhammadu Buhari and his counterparts from Niger, Ghana, Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire held talks with the leader of the opposition, Imam Mahamoud Dicko, representatives of the Opposition Alliance, M5 and the civil society organizations. The host president, Ibrahim Keita, also briefed the heads of state and government on the socio-political situation in the country, especially the disagreements that spiraled into protest and violence. ECOWAS chairman and president of Niger, Muhammadu Isufu, who briefed journalists after the talks that lasted more than 8 hours, said the sub-regional leaders have agreed that there would be need for a compromise to protect the peace and integrity of the West African nation. He emphasized that allowing a political crisis to fester in Mali would affect the security situation in West Africa, especially the neighboring countries. President Isufu expressed optimism that the forthcoming extraordinary meeting of the ECOWAS leaders on Monday will chart the best way forward. Also speaking, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo explained, however, that the ECOWAS protocol would be followed. He maintained that the tenet of democracy adopted by the sub-regional body clearly spells out that a president can only be voted into power and voted out by election except he completes his tenure. The Ghanaian leader noted that the protocol would be adhered to towards ensuring safety and peace in the sub-region. President Muhammadu Buhari, who has returned to Abuja in the early hours of Friday, was received at the airport by FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, Director General, Department of State Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, Nta2 News.
We'll now pause for a break. More stories when we return. Please do stay with us.
The way coronavirus spread is when infected people sneeze and cough. Small droplets of fluid expelled by cough or sneezes are laced with viruses looking for new respiratory tracts to infect. When a sick person sneezes around someone who is healthy, the virus can land in the nose, mouth, or even the eyes, causing an infection. Symptoms can include fever, cough, shortness of breath. Symptoms may appear within 2 to 14 days. Seek medical advice if you develop symptoms and have been in close contact with a person known to have COVID-19, or if you live or have recently been in an area with ongoing spread of COVID-19. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Glad to know you're still there. Let's now get latest from the COVID-19. The latest statistics provided by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control reveal that 604 new cases of coronavirus have been recorded in Nigeria, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 38,948. The breakdown of the new cases shows that Lagos recorded the daily highest of 203 cases, followed by Oyo with 87 and FCT 79. Edo State has 41 cases, Osun 35, Ogun 24, Rivers and Kaduna 22 each. Akwa Ibom State has 20, Plateau 18, Delta and Ebonyi 19 each, while Imo State has 8. Still on the list are Enugu, Kano and Cross River states with 5 cases each. Katsina has 4 cases, Nasarawa 3, Borno and Ekiti 2 each, while Bauchi has 1. The total number of patients discharged so far stands at 16,061, while 833 deaths have been recorded so far across the country. Now still on COVID-19, before the pandemic, Friday and Sunday were worship days for the 2 major religious groups in Nigeria. However, with the shutdown of churches and mosques, worshippers have taken to the best alternative. Joy Kenabakboya tells us more.
In March 2020, when COVID-19 was declared a pandemic, the federal government ordered a total shutdown of the economy for the safety of Nigerians. Religious centers were shut down and worshippers were discouraged from congregating. The alternative, which is currently in force, is the use of the internet for virtual services.
We are trying our best to reach our members online, and the response has been so nice.
People are opportune to participate in the Holy Mass from their homes because we are able to televise this every Sunday.
When we are together, we feel better, we feel encouraging. But today, it's individual aspect. So that's the reason why we are praying with Almighty Allah and raise this so-called COVID-19 away from this our country, from the nation of the whole world entirely, so that we can get back to our normal mode of our prayer.
In spite of the eased lockdown to reopen the economy, selected organizations and business outlets were given the nod to resume services. However, churches and mosques were exempted. The pews are empty and mats are rolled up.
We all pray in our various homes, and we pray in our various offices while in the office.
Coming close to the altar, confessing our sins, is not there.
I miss the service, I miss the communion that we took every Sunday. I pray with my family. But the only thing we are missing now.
Entertainment is next with Imolia Tokede.
Music sensation Korede Bello has released a new extended play record titled Table for Two. The 5-track extended play record furthers the singer's statement of intent for the year with tracks like Hey Baby, Table for Two, alongside his previously released records like Murire. Meanwhile, Nigerian music star Dapo Oyebanjo, also known as The Band, has reportedly reached a settlement with his 25-year-old rape accuser, Sheiton Babatayo. The Band had been accused by Babatayo of forcing his way into her hotel room and raping her in December 2018, in a case that brought the music icon his first major image battering scandal. Report has it that both parties have agreed to desist from making any posts or leaking any information to the public and allow the police to carry out their investigation. On the foreign scene, Prince Harry and wife Meghan Markle are reportedly suing a photographer for taking unsolicited photos of their son, Archie. According to TMZ, the former royal couple is suing for infringement of privacy. In the document, Meghan and Harry detailed their distress over moving overseas to escape tabloid fabrications, only to be met with drones flying overhead and a chaotic press presence in their new home. It will be recalled that back in May 2020, the couple reported a drone flying over their residence to the police. That's it on our entertainment desk. I am Imolia Tukide.
Up next is sports with Ayodeji Makinde.
Following the unveiling of Imama Amapakabo as their new coach, Abia Warriors Football Club of Umuahia says it is working towards achieving the ultimate results come next season, having avoided relegation since 2013.
For us, I think it's something to celebrate, and that's why we say that this time we really want to deliberately contest for honors, because football is about winning, but above all is business, and that's why we look at young players, marketable players.
Curtain is set to fall on the 2019-2020 season of English Premier League with 10 matches to be decided on Sunday. The fixture between Leicester City and Manchester United will be broadcast live on the NTA at 4 p.m, while studio discussion opens at 3:30 p.m.
If Man U put one thing or the other, they will still remain their third or fourth position, because I believe if care is not taken, Wolves will beat Chelsea on that very day.
Now, in other fixtures, winners Liverpool visit Newcastle United, Chelsea welcome Wolves at the Stamford Bridge, Manchester City host relegated Norwich City, while Arsenal await Watford at the Emirates. Depending on final results and adjustments at the bottom of the table, Aston Villa, Watford and Bournemouth face relegation from the league. In tennis, 11 more tournaments across the ATP and WTA tours have been cancelled after China announced it would hold no sporting events for the rest of 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 7 tournaments on the WTA tour have been cancelled, including November's WTA finals in Shenzhen, while on the ATP tour, the Shanghai Masters is the most high-profile event to have been called off. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
That's it on the news. Thanks for watching.